Good evening, everyone. It is February 7th, 2023. We are, what is that, about 5 hours into Globex right now. What you're looking at is just a 1 hour chart of the full external trading hours on the ES. Today we did have JPOW as far as news wise. That's what caused those crazy bars around 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, whatever it was. Tomorrow we do have Williams before the open, the 10-year bond auction at 1:01 p.m. Kind of a weird time. 1:45 we do have Waller, so I'll probably be holding off on the first, I don't know, 10 minutes or so of trade, and then also holding off around 12:55 to about 2 o'clock. So likely going to be kind of a smaller session for me. Now, what I had mentioned last week, I think on Sunday or Saturday, whenever I wrote this, February 3rd, it looks like, so whatever that was, Friday. Last Friday, what I was looking for was, in my opinion, we had distribution occur here around 41.88. That's where the high volume node ended up coming in at, 41.88. So what I was looking for was a move back to last week's VWAP, which was sitting, I believe, at 41.15 when we started the week, and we had that. And notably, we were unable to crack these January highs. The January high coming in, I believe, at 09 quarter from January 27th. We were unable to break that, and what I had been waiting for was a move back towards these kind of this Tuesday high day, Wednesday pre-FOMC highs. I wanted to see us get into this and then defend this area, come back around here and fill up this low volume area about from 40.95 to 41.40. I wanted to see us fill this out with some volume. Instead, what we've had is a really good job defending those January highs at 09 quarters. So kind of here, we've defended those highs multiple times during Monday's Globex pre-market, during the RTH a few times, and then again, even during this big JPOW session, we had it again, that defense there. So we're leaving. It looks like we're going to leave those single prints there from the FOMC, and instead we're going higher for now. Now, we have had a sell off of that 41.88. I think it was one tick off. I think 88 quarter. Yeah. So within one tick of error, we've managed to get a sell. However, so far, whatever this is, 5 hours into Globex, we are trading well outside of value area high from today's RTH session. Value area high sitting at 55-ish, and even if you want to extend the value area high instead of being 70%, if you want to make that more so 87% or 91% or 95%, 95% of value area high is actually what our high of the day is looking like right now at 77 quarter. So just we've traded one tick above that. So we are trading in a far outside of value. So in general, what I'm looking at is a failure to fill up this low volume area, a failure to clean out the shorts who are stopped here in these single prints, failure to get acceptance below January's highs, and instead we're rotating back up into this high volume area. And I'm looking at this scenario, which I wrote out on Friday, which is that above this kind of 95 area, this 86 to 97 area, above this, I think we're going to go ahead and close that gap. Let's show it a bit clearer here. This is the gap I'm referring to from back in August. So I think what's going to happen is we might just go ahead and trade 42.30. So now with all this background information in mind, let's go ahead and bring this down to our chart here. Wow, that looks crazy. Let's go to a 5-minute chart here. Get rid of all those indicators. How am I looking to trade this? Let's also just get rid of this stuff here. I know it's just showing up on the side there, so let's get rid of all that jazz. There we go. Now it's looking a little bit cleaner for you guys. Here's how I want to trade this. There's kind of a few key reference points that I'm looking at. One is that here's our FOMC high of the day at 63 quarter. As long as we're trading between 63 quarter and kind of 95, to me this is a form of acceptance for a move higher into that 42.30 gap close. The range closes a bit lower at 20.75. So as long as we're holding the 63 area, I think that we're going to move higher. So that's why I've got these as kind of look above and fail things, right? After we close the gap at 42.30, I'll be short at '08. After I get a look above to about 94, 95, if we fail that, okay, then I'll short 88 for reversion. I'm waiting for a test of 84 before shorting 75. 75 being a key level as well being where today's 4 p.m. close hit. You can see it worked really well at 1 o'clock. So, in general, as long as we're trading kind of in this area, I'm seeing that as acceptance, even lower than that 63.25, kind of where we held these bids on Friday before losing it, but where we held it pre-market, where we held the bid on Thursday, where we held it kind of moving into that Wednesday overnight into the open. So this is kind of one major balance I'm looking at. As long as we're holding it, I think we're fairly bullish. Even down to 42s, I think you can kind of get a whatever you want to call it, an emergency bid or what have you. I might actually make this a after seeing whatever it is. Settlement highs are at 36.5. So that's how I'm kind of looking at this. Is that bulls by all measures just seem to be in control here. We were unable to fill out those single prints from the FOMC session. We're unable to accept below these January highs. We've tried so many times. And now we're way above settlement highs. Settlement highs are down here at 36.5. So the shorts are getting squeezed, and now we're accepting in this upper balance to me. So I want to be hesitant on the short side. If I was a breakout trader, I would probably be looking to get long at 75 and almost definitely be getting long at 88. So that's how I'm looking at this. I'm not really sure I have more to add to that. Value area high from last week's at 61.25. So that's another way of looking at this. Or if we add in our value area deviations, it's going to look a bit ugly. Here we go. Once we start, this is 95%, this is 91%, this is 87%. Standard deviation 1.5 to 1.5, 1.75, and 2, I believe. So once we start trading below the 61 area, if we start accepting below that, there's a chance that we go ahead and get into, once we start trading below regular value area on the week, value area high, regular plain old 70% value area high, I think that's when you start to go down to value area low at 41.07-ish. I think you might catch some bids around where we trapped the shorts, and you might move back up to the POC, but in general, I think you're moving down. But until then, until we're back inside the week's value, I think this thing's pretty bullish. You're above prior week's value currently. You're way above this week's value. Weekly VWAP is down at 31s. I think this thing has room to the upside. These are just rough ADRs and pivots, nothing important. So that's how I'm looking at this. I want to be hesitant to the short side, but yeah, I do want to be short. 75, 88, 08. I'll be not limit offered, but I'll be more aggressive at that 30. That's all I have. Yeah. Same thing. The prior week's value area high on the week, that 87%, 91%, 95%, all that's sitting between kind of 84 to 91. This zone here. So once you get over this, that's it. You should be in a rippy mode, quote. You should be able to get into that gap. Anyway, hope that makes sense. Any changes to this will be posted pre-market, per usual. It's a long video, 9.5 minutes, but we're talking about a big range here. We're talking about a 130-point range on a day where we spent most of it churning and then friggin' spiked around a 90 points. So, hope that makes sense. Any changes to this will be posted pre-market per usual. Trade safe, you guys, and have a great night.